city of Plymouth is partnering with local organizations in an effort to push immigrants to participate in the 2020 census. Pafua Yang joins us now to explain why participating is so important.
Shannon, according to the latest report by the Minneapolis Foundation, Minnesota's immigrant population has seen explosive growth. 18% of that growth are immigrants from Africa. The East African Development Agency in Minneapolis says language barriers could cause thousands to avoid participating in the census. The 2020 federal census questionnaire will be offered in 12 non-English languages. However, it does not include Hmong or Somali, which are some of the most spoken languages in Minnesota. To break down those barriers, the East African Development Agency will be communicating to African communities, saying it's imperative that every person is counted for.
The government funding every year $7 billion, and then each person is $2,000 every year. So we need to have better schools, we need to have better roads, we need to have better streets.
Plymouth Count Committee members also say if numbers come back short, Minnesota could lose a congressional seat. Members also want immigrant communities to understand that any information provided to the government will be confidential.
Any information that you give into the federal level, it's confidential. There's no problem whatsoever. They're not going to know your immigration status. They're not going to know whether you are low or high income families. They're not going to find out any of those. It's very confidential.
By April 1st, every home will receive an invitation to participate in the 2020 census. You can respond online, by phone, or by mail. Shannon.
Thank you, Pafua. A prominent Twin Cities civil rights advocate has died. Ron Edwards passed away Monday in New Hope. It's notable that Edwards passed away on Martin Luther King Day because to some, he was Minnesota's MLK.
Ron Edwards is that Martin Luther King Jr., just a different individual. And the reason why I say that is because of what he stood for, what he talked about. You know, the things that he's done came to a better understanding of what it is.
Longtime KMOJ radio host Walter Q. Bear Banks was close to Edwards. According to Banks, Edwards was about getting things done and exposing injustice no matter where it came from.
Police brutality, black on black crime, whatever the case may be, black on white crime, racism, white supremacy, it doesn't matter. He put it on the table and talked it, and he lived it and told it for real. That's Ron Edwards. And the thing is this community is going to miss that voice.
Edwards was a columnist and also had weekly radio and cable television shows. He was 81 years old. A closer look inside the governor's bonding proposals reveals a total of more than $100 million for projects here in the northwest suburbs. One of them includes $4 million for a new police station in Crystal. The current building does not meet code requirements. The police station would be part of a new City Hall campus. The governor's bonding plan also includes more than $8 million for improvements at Mississippi Gateway Regional Park, more than $6 million for a new North Hennepin Community College performing arts space, $15 million for the Plymouth Creek Center expansion, $50 million is proposed to convert Highway 252 into a freeway, and there's $18 million to extend Highway 610 to County Road 30 in Maple Grove. The Minnesota legislative session reconvenes on February 11th. Today's standout student is a model of dedication and perseverance. Akiyah Ash is a senior at Armstrong High School, and she's overcome adversity to shine in class. Nestled in the campus of Armstrong High School, there's around 50 students who make up the A School.
A School is an alternative program within Armstrong for students that are behind in credits or need a smaller learning environment to be successful.
Since 1993, the program has helped juniors and seniors get on track to graduate. Today is the first day of a new semester, and new students are learning how A School works. 17-year-old Akiyah Ash is a senior and stands out here.
She's a great kid, a really good kid. She has some obstacles outside of the classroom that make it difficult or have in the past, and she is just flourishing up here.
Akiyah, oh my gosh, we love Akiyah. So the best way I can think to describe her is resilient.
Akiyah is one of those students that teachers admire for overcoming adversity.
I struggled a lot my past years due to deaths. My grandma died, my brother just passed, my mom's passed, so they helped me out.
Akiyah says A School helped her find her place.
When I was in main school, I'm very shy, so I was just like to myself, just not really talkative and stuff. But when I got up here, it's a whole nother different thing.
And teachers say Akiyah shines in A School.
I love to have her in class, and she is whip smart, and she gets other students in line.
She's a problem solver and doesn't let setbacks stand in her way.
She'll figure it out, yeah, and she'll do it with a smile on her face.
Just keep going. You can't let obstacles stop you in life. You gotta just go around and work your way around them.
Akiyah is quick to focus on what's important.
I finally say that I made it. Struggled throughout these years, and I'm just excited to say I finally did it. I accomplished something that's very important to me.
On the wall in A School, there's a cap and gown, always front and center, always in focus for Akiyah.
I'm gonna be in that gown one day. That will be me.
Akiyah's favorite subjects are math and science, and someday she hopes to start her own cosmetic company. Inflatable bouncy houses aren't just for kids anymore. An evening of fun awaits the over 21 crowd at the Plymouth Creek Center's annual After Hours at the Creek event that will be held this Friday. There will be arcade games, inflatables, a cash bar, food, music, and entertainment. Headlining this year is Twin Cities comedian Mary Mack. Tickets are $30 in advance, $35 at the door. Register on the City of Plymouth's website.
The Hopkins and Wayzata girls basketball teams have played some epic games in recent seasons. The two are again the best in the state. Defending state champion Hopkins is ranked first in Class 4A. Wayzata is ranked second. UConn women's head coach Gino Auriemma and Gophers coach Lindsey Whalen among those in attendance at Hopkins Tuesday when these two met up. UConn signee Paige Becker shows why she's one of the nation's best prep players. Behind the back dribble and the soft touch there on the dribble. 21 first-half points for Beckers. The Trojans came to play. Annika Stewart headed to Nebraska next year. Hits a three-pointer. Next possession is Stewart from the corner. She scores 9 straight Wayzata points, and the Trojans take a 35-32 lead into halftime on unbeaten Hopkins. The Royals come back in the second half. Maya Najee gets herself free in the lane, scores and is fouled. Sophomore with 19 points in the second half. Elena Contreras provided a spark off the bench for Hopkins. She scores 11 second-half points, including that three-pointer which put the Royals up 10. Wayzata hangs tough, though. Jenna Johnson scores and is fouled. Johnson, Stewart, and Mara Braun combined for 72 Wayzata points. The Trojans get as close as 3 with under 2 minutes to play, but Najee scores here, and the Royals win their 48th straight game. 87-77 is the final, but a good test for the #1 team.
I know it's really important for us. I mean, the closest game after this would be 18 points, so I've been asking for a close game for a while now. I'd prefer the blowout, but it makes us learn a lot, and we're going to learn a lot from film, and it definitely gets us ready for March.
The wins are piling up for the Armstrong boys basketball team. Coming off an 18-10 season, the Falcons were shooting for their 11th win of the year when they hosted Elk River on Tuesday. The Elks are in control in the first half. Parker Benny with a nice catch-and-shoot three-pointer. Then it's Liam Carr with a steal, and he goes all the way for a hoop. And a 20-12 Elks lead. Sophomore Benny hits again from long range, putting the Elks up 27-14. John Bryan has a talk with his boys, and they respond. Adam Bewin finds Dylan Iniger at the top of the key. Iniger hitting the triple. And then Hezekiah Ayawe rips the ball loose and scores. It's a 7-0 run at the end of the half. Falcons cut the lead to 27-21. The momentum continues into the second half. Ayawe with a rebound and put back. He scores 13 points. Armstrong's Ben-Hur Solomon strokes a three-pointer, putting the Falcons up 46-34. Armstrong grinds out a victory, pushing its record to 11-1. 52-45 is the final. We are in the final weeks of the regular season in girls hockey. In the Lake, Wayzata was looking to break a 4-game conference winless streak when they hosted North Wright County, which includes new conference members St. Michael Albertville. Highlights from this one: first period, the shot on net by North Wright County. Loose puck knocked in by Sidney Lemke, and it's a 1-0 lead. Wayzata gets a scoring chance when Gretchen Branton goes in alone. She's denied by North Wright County goalie Anna LaRose, and they take a 2-0 lead into the first intermission. Second period, Branton does not miss this time, picking the top corner of the net before crashing into the end boards. It's a 2-1 game. Still in the second, Branton picks up an assist as she sets up Addie Hackley for a breakaway. And the senior scores her third goal of the season, tying the game at 2. That's the score after 2. The Trojans break the game open in the third period. Ali Scoro to Sloan Matthews, who goes in alone to score. Wayzata's leading for the first time at 3-2. Midway through the period, Wayzata on the power play. Scoro's shot from the point, tipped in by number 10, Sarah Adelin, and it's a 4-2 game. And they get one more goal late. Addie Hackley with a shot from the blue line that's stopped but not controlled, and Adelin knocks home the rebound. The Trojans score a big win on home ice. 5-2 is the final.